All right, welcome to the second component of looking at STR Global. And what I'm going to be focusing on today is the STAR report. Before I do that, I just want to put it into context with what is the purpose of the STAR report, and it's really all about benchmarking. And then I'm going to be looking at, in particular, going through the STAR report. Now, why is this important? Why am I spending all this time talking about the STAR report? Well, first of all, general managers' bonuses are often linked into the STAR report. So it's looking at, well, how are you performing in comparison to our competitive set? So that's really important from a general manager's point of view. And as aspiring hotel managers, it's important for you to understand this as well and interpret industry reports. And of course, understand how to read the STAR report, more importantly. So first of all, I want to talk about what is benchmarking, and then I'm going to talk about, well, what is the competitive set, and why is this important? Who do we put into our competitive set? When are we getting our reports? And what sort of rules are there around developing our competitive set? So let's just have a look at this example for a minute. So let's say this is our hotel. Our year-on-year change has gone up by 7%. We're very excited. We think our performance is fabulous. So we're going to get excited and go to our general manager saying, hey, look, we've improved our hotel's performance by 7%. Now, if the general manager turns around and says, yeah, but look at what our competitors are doing. They've gone up by 15%. That's really not giving us a lot of comfort and security in our performance. Flip side, we've had a reduction of performance of -3%. So we might be panicking, thinking that we're not performing very well. But when we compare ourselves to our competitors, they've actually gone down -10%. So in this situation, we're going, everyone, the industry's gone down, but we haven't actually gone down as much as average. So we're actually performing quite well. So benchmarking gives us that point of reference. We actually don't know how we're going unless we can make some sort of comparisons against our performance. And it might be to other hotels, which is in our competitive set. It could be to industry standards, it could be to other hotels within the hotel chain, and so on. So it's really important to be able to have that benchmark that we can compare ourselves to. So a competitive set is a group of hotels primarily used for a comparison. So we are going to determine who is in our competitive set. So who do we compete with directly? It could be those people that are participating, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. It could be those that are close to us. It could be those with a similar price point, or those with a similar product range. So a general manager would then say, well, these are our competitive hotels. And here's an example you can see. It's not necessarily those hotels exactly within our vicinity, but we've identified Hotel C, M, R, and D as our competitors. And in a lot of cases, you're going to be looking at pricing, facilities. So what is the STAR report? The STAR report stands for Smith Travel Accommodation Report. It was originally launched back in 1987, and it is used to analyze your hotel's performance. Now, I'm going to be focusing on occupancy, ADR, and RevPAR, but we're going to look at some other charts that looks into supply and demand, pipeline, market segments as well. So what is it? Provides comparison to competition through our index. And so the index is stating if we are performing better or worse than our competition. And then, of course, ranking. So out of our 6 competitive hotels, and of course then that's 7 including ourselves, we want to know where do we sit in that ranking. Instead of just knowing if we're slightly better or slightly worse, a lot better or a lot worse, where do we sit out of those 6 competitive hotels? So it also looks at various industry segments, and I'll show you some examples in a moment. We also want to track performance, so looking at trends over time are really important. And what we don't see is that we're not going to see individual properties data. It's STR very strict with this, so that hotels don't feel that their confidential data is released to their competitors. So you only see aggregated data. So you'll see the average occupancy, the average rate for all of your competitors together. And these reports come out as an Excel format, and you'll see the tabs. Well, when I open up, we'll see in a moment the index of a STAR report. then it's like an Excel spreadsheet with the tabs going across. So today we're going to look at about 7 tabs. You're not going to see the formula, so you don't actually get any idea of individual hotels. And they're generated on a monthly, weekly, or daily basis, so depending on how the hotels are subscribing to it as to how many reports they're actually going to get. Now, why do you need the STAR report as a hotelier? Well, it benchmarks your performance. You can keep an eye on your competition. So are those competitors starting to perform better or worse than you are? You know, what's happening in the marketplace. It gives you perspective to good and bad performance. So like that earlier example there, when the whole market is going down, then you can, you know, your general manager can appreciate that the hotel is, you know, all hotels are going down. So we can then see, are we performing, where are we performing in comparison to our competitive set? Aids pricing decisions. So we can then look at, well, what has happened if we increase our price or decrease our price to our RevPAR, and obviously occupancy as well. It allows you to monitor the effect of your business. So if you are making refurbishment changes, you know, and other promotional campaigns, you can have a look to see, well, how is that impacting your actual business? And then, of course, we can view supply, demand, and revenue changes into the marketplace. So if your competitive hotels have extended their hotel, or if they've reduced their rooms or anything like that, you will be able to view it.